episode 11 of Tech Talk. I'm Michelle, and I'm with my co-host,
Ryan.
Today we're going to talk about Apple's upcoming product launch event. It's Glow time.
Ooh.
With an emphasis on the up-and-coming iPhone 16. You know what this event reminds me of?
What's that?
Rich Lux.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like saying, I can't take a day off to save my life. I can't get a like to save my life, let alone a comment.
Come on, everybody. Hit the thumbs up.
Yeah, so why do I think I can't take a day off to save my life? I was just covering Google Pixel 9 Pro, and now all of a sudden iPhone 16 is coming.
Yeah, and they've got this, it's glow time.
In this event, Apple is going to launch a series of products. On Mac Rumors, they talk about the products that are potentially launching in this event. So first, we have Apple Watch Series 10. I've recently upgraded to Apple Watch Series 9, so Series 10 is interesting. The Apple Watch Series 10 is predicted to have slimmer designs and larger screens. I don't know how I feel about larger screens. I have relatively petite wrist.
Yeah, so that might not be your thing. But I guess some people want to be able to use their watch for more visible things, so they need it to be a little bigger, or they just don't have as good a vision as you.
That's true. Yeah, the vision.
Oh, and then see this Apple Watch Ultra 3. Now this clearly, as you've pointed out to me, seems to be a little bit of a competition with the Samsung Ultra watches that we looked at last week.
When I look at the design of the Ultra line, I can see that it represents technology and strength.
Yeah. Now I'm curious what the price will be, because we saw the Samsung one was about $640. So it'll be interesting if they launch this new one, if they have a lower price or the similar price.
Yeah, so if this watch matches the price with the Ultra 2 series, I think it's going to be on par with the Samsung watch.
Okay.
And also we have Apple Watch SE 3.
I see they use rigid plastic rather than aluminum for the body. So it may be lighter, a little cheaper, more accessible, and affordable.
Yeah, affordability is key.
Yes.
And speaking of rigid plastic, I remember hearing from one YouTuber that plastic just sounds so cheap.
Yeah.
When they replace aluminum with plastic.
Yeah. But even if it might actually feel better and feel lighter, it's just hard to get over the sound of the word plastic.
Yeah. I mean, everything is plastic.
Yeah.
Is there an alternative word for plastic?
That we have to figure out.
That sounds more high-tech.
Yeah.
I'm sure Apple will come up with that. And we'll have AirPods 4, the 4th generation of AirPods.
Yep.
I see that they still haven't given up on the design of AirPods. This design is the least inclusive for people's variable size of ear canal.
Yeah, because sometimes it slips out.
Exactly.
And it'll be interesting when you get your new Google Pixel buds. And since you've had a bunch of AirPods, you'll be able to do a comparison.
Exactly. But the higher end version is expected to include active noise cancellation and likely to feature a speaker in the charging case for Find My Location tracking.
That kind of is interesting.
All these earbuds are just out of control. They're so tiny and they could be anywhere.
Yeah, but this one is actually in the case, and I could definitely lose the case all the time. So being able to say, where's my case, is going to help.
Yeah, I don't think you can be helped though.
Yeah, I know, but at least it'll give me a chance.
The next generation AirPods are expected to inherit the H2 chip from the 2nd generation AirPods Pro. Interesting.
Yeah, why not give us a new chip?
I guess they decided to do some good recycling.
Yeah.
And the H2 chip delivers an exceptional acoustic experience. And possibly a new AirPods Max. So I have an AirPods Max and I love this thing.
Yeah.
Even though there's so many critics out there, I am really satisfied with my experience.
Yeah, and it's also kind of like you're in a cultural movement in a way. I've seen a lot of young people wearing these. It just seems to be a fashionable thing to do.
Yeah, I think the design is really cool.
Yeah.
iPad Mini 7. So when I saw the possibility of a new iPad mini, I was actually intrigued. I currently own an iPad Pro from 2020. It has the A12 chip. Obviously, when Apple Intelligence rolls out, I'm not going to have Apple Intelligence on my iPad. What I like about my current iPad is that it comes with an Apple Pencil, and I used to doodle and take notes on it all the time. I was a good customer of GoodNotes.
Yes.
But I'm not a student anymore, so I don't take as many notes. So now I just use it to watch Netflix when I fold my laundry.
Yeah.
And read like a Kindle at night.
Yeah, so this other smaller size might be more practical for that.
Yeah, the iPad mini makes way more sense. So rumor have suggested Apple is developing a 7th generation iPad mini, potentially slated for release this year. This new version is expected to feature an A17 Pro chip or better. So what we have in our iPhone 15 Pro right now is this A17 Pro chip.
And that's going to allow you to have access to your Apple Intelligence in the future.
Do I need Apple Intelligence on my iPad for Netflix and Kindle reading? I don't know.
No, but you might expand your use of it. Maybe if you could have intelligence linked to what you want to make for dinner or something like that. I could see the iPad mini being good for recipes in the kitchen. You don't want to cook though, huh?
If I cook, it wouldn't be following a recipe. I would create a brand new dish that the world had never seen before. Now, new iPhone cases and Apple Watch bands. I think that's a given. If you're releasing new devices,
yeah, you got to do some different bands.
Especially bigger screens for Apple Watch, maybe the bands are no longer going to fit.
Yeah.
And maybe this is a signal that the bands won't fit anymore. If you have a good collection of Apple Watch bands, you're better off selling it off on eBay right now.
Yeah, sell your older ones off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those people who have a large collection of the bands.
Yeah, bands will make her dance.
So new software for Apple products, we know that. All the OS systems are going to get updated.
Ha! Look, people are already telling you to wait.
10 reasons to wait for the next year's iPhone 17. You know why though? So I've heard a lot of people's opinion that the iPhone 16 is just a all-around upgrade than the iPhone 15. And that's kind of been how I feel. I don't upgrade my iPhone every year. I wait 2 to 2.5 years, right, typically?
Yeah.
So that I use my phone until the hardware cannot support the software anymore.
Yeah.
And notice a noticeable lag in my devices. And people say that iPhone 16 is just one of those interim upgrade. And the next one is going to have a really revolutionizing upgrade.
Yeah,
the 17.
That's interesting. I know from my experience with the Samsung S23 Ultra, I used to have that. And then this was the first time that I've ever upgraded a phone to the 24 in 1 year. I heard a lot of people saying similar things, but in my mind, because of the integration of the AI and also everything just being so much faster, it has been an incredible upgrade, even from 1 year to the next.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I had ever done that. And honestly, I feel like it was even a bigger upgrade from sometimes that I've waited for 2 years. So I think that the changes happening now and integration of AI and everything getting smaller but more efficient with chips, it's going to be worth updating in the future quickly.
Yeah, let's dig deeper into the iPhone 16 lineup and the hardware upgrades.
Yeah.
This article is from Mac Rumors. It says Apple leak confirms 4 iPhone 16 models with the same A18 chip.
Yeah, and just like you had said last week, it's all in the chip. You know, like a shout out to Happy Gilmore.
It's all in the hip.
Yeah, instead of it's all in the hip, it's all in the chip.
Yes, it's all in the chip. And I think both Google and Apple are doing a good job in their respective events to advertise exactly what improvements have made in their chip.
Yes. Yeah, because the chip is a pretty abstract thing. Most people, including myself, just think of it as a chip, right? But they're really trying to explain why is it so powerful and why is it so advanced. Now, I find it interesting, this color looks awfully similar to the rose quartz of the Pixel.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know exactly what color is going to be released until the event, but I wouldn't doubt this nice pastel baby pink is what people want.
Yeah.
Because I really like pink. And when I see a really beautiful pink, I don't really care if it's functional or practical. I just want to own it.
I know. And they got you. Because
Yeah,
remember,
the Pixel 9 Pro got me.
Yeah, because it was the same price for half the storage.
Yeah.
But they only had that size available.
For the pink, yeah, so maybe they have, for the solid state drive storage, they only have so many of 512, 1 terabyte, but they have a ton of 256 gigabytes of the solid state drive or whatever version it is for the phone. And they're like, oh, we pair it with this pink color, and all these fools that like to buy impractical stuff just because they're pink will buy this one.
Yeah, we'll get them.
I'm one of those fools.
Exactly.
Yeah, so in the A18 chip, they said that they have improved from 5 nanometer in the iPhone 15 Pro to 3 nanometer in the iPhone 16. So I was looking into why this is so revolutionary. Exactly what is a 3 nanometer chip? So the transistor is what is 3 nanometer. And a transistor is a semiconductor device that controls the flow of electrical power and signals in an electronic circuit. It's a fundamental component of modern electronics and has many uses, include amplification, switching, power supply control, etc.
Yeah.
So this is really the smallest fundamental unit of the chip. And the fact that it improves from 5 nanometer to 3 nanometer is a huge deal. Like this Reddit contributor have eloquently stated, main advantage of a 3 nanometer is better energy efficiency due to the fact that smaller transistor requires less power to work. An average chip has billions of transistors inside. For user, it means longer battery life.
Yeah, and that's huge. Everybody's complained about the batteries not lasting.
Yeah.
And so anything that can increase battery life, increase efficiency, that's going to get people excited. I feel like the first one of these companies to be able to get a phone that can somehow last 48 hours, that's going to be something that gets everybody really excited again in the future.
I remember Marques Brownlee in one of his shorts videos. I saw that he said the Xiaomi phones, that phone charges so fast, you can fully charge a Xiaomi phone in 18 minutes.
Wow.
And he will love the battery from that phone on every other phones.
Yeah. Because if I remember the days of the flip phone, and you could just have your phone for days without charging it, sometimes an entire week. Now that was primarily because it didn't have much function, right?
Yeah.
But still, that's something that would excite people and could really get people to turn their heads and choose a particular model or upgrade quickly when they normally wouldn't.
Yeah.
That's something that's going to be to look out for.
Yeah, especially the competition is so fierce.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thinking about all the hardware upgrades in displays, cameras, you would expect that iPhone 16 is going to cost a lot more. The optimistic projection is that iPhone 16 is going to keep the iPhone 15 pricing.
Nice.
But the pessimistic projection is that it's going to increase throughout.
Yeah. And it's interesting because right now during these times, if they're trying to rush it out in this September release announcement, with everything that's going on, it might actually be more leaning towards this optimistic price. Because things have been going down.
Yeah, pricing have been dropping. So since I purchased the Google Pixel 9 Pro and not the Pro XL, the comparison here will be iPhone 16 Pro with 256 gigabyte storage.
Yep.
Optimistically, it's going to be $1,099, and that is identical to Google Pixel 9 Pro's price.
Exactly.
It could also be $100 more in the pessimistic scenario. So the pricing is really pretty much on par with each other.
Yeah, but are they going to be able to have as many incentives as Google Pixel did? Such as the Gemini Advanced yearly subscription.
6 months of YouTube Premium.
Yeah.
$200 back Apple Store credits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of incentives that they're providing. That'll be curious. Is Apple going to have to do this? Is Apple going to have to like throw in an AirPod or something like that?
They should. They
should.
Their AirPods are shit. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this not advertiser friendly?
Exactly.
Their AirPods are mierda.
Yeah. And I remember if you're looking at this terabyte, the prices are definitely comparable to the terabyte onyx color of the Google Pixel Pro.
Yeah.
I think it was $1,499. So clearly, if you're getting all this higher storage, you're paying a higher premium for it.
In the market of smartphones, Apple has a huge market share right now.
Mm,
Most of the phones that are sold are, in fact, iPhones.
exactly.
And even just 1% of these iPhone users or Galaxy users switch to Google's Pixel. That's a lot of
That's
revenue.
going to be a huge increase. Yes, I see that. And look at that. So you've got the iPhone Pro Max. What are people buying? So we looked at this chart of prices.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are they going for the standard iPhone, or are they actually going for this Pro Max?
Yep.
And spending more money to get a little more bang for your buck?
Yep. Yeah, in fact, the best-selling iPhone is iPhone 15 Pro Max, the most expensive one.
Yeah, that has the largest share. That's interesting to me. And then, but right underneath it is the iPhone 15. And so it's kind of interesting how when you're looking at these different pricings and the different features and capabilities, one of the most important things about the iPhone 16 is that now all of their lineup is going to be AI capable, right? And is that something that we'll discuss in more detail?
Yeah, that lineup, in no doubt, is going to occupy the top market share in the upcoming quarter. And did you notice something about your beloved Samsung?
Yes, I see it there.
The best-selling Samsung is the best in the lineup also.
Exactly.
So this is like a global phenomenon.
And I think ultimately when you're looking at it, okay, if you're already spending $800, what is that little 200, 300 extra to get the word ultra on it, right? That's like, okay, what are the differences and are they actually doing enough to differentiate them? And I think they do. They add a bunch of different cameras. They add size, especially for the Ultra. Just all those other components make it more intriguing to spend that little extra money.
Yeah. And this also speaks to how much people use their phone now. There's some study shows that you have at least 5 hours per day.
Yeah.
So if you're going to spend so much time of your life operating so many different aspects from your phone, you might as well get the best and fastest.
Exactly. And then you can start doing the calculations. A lot of times you'll say, oh, $1,000, that's a lot of money. But then you think, okay, $1,000 divided by 365 days divided by 5 hours, you may end up only investing about 10 cents a day or something like that. It's just like there's so much relativity. You're actually going to get so much more out of this phone than, buying $1,000 worth of French fries.
That exact kind of thinking is what the luxury community tell themselves.
Yes, they do.
Oh, I wear this $10,000 Chanel bag all the time. So really cost per wear is super low.
Cost per wear. I hear that with clothing and everything.
Speaking of all the AI capabilities, in the WWDC 2024 event, Apple have announced that they've partnered with OpenAI. So now you could just ask Siri to pull out ChatGPT to give you answers.
Yes.
Now, ChatGPT-5, in fact, is going to be rolled out in the fall.
Nice.
ChatGPT-5 is rumored to have better language processing and understanding because they've trained with more data, but also it will have improved multimodality capabilities. See, multimodal AI is designed to learn from and use a variety of content types such as images, audio, video, and numerical data. And GPT-5 will use more data to train on. So they're probably diligently scraping our YouTube videos to train their data on. Don't come for me. But you would imagine if Apple Intelligence can partner up with GPT-5, then they would have the capability that was advertised in the Google Pixel event, where they use Gemini to analyze a YouTube video.
Yeah. Exactly. There's definitely competition in this multimodal idea that I think has really been pushed forward by the release of Google Gemini Advanced, because everything was text-based. I see GPT-5 is still behind because it actually says is restricted to generating outputs in text only right now. And they might be scrambling to change that because Gemini Advanced came out with the ability to output in images right from the get-go. And tables and go right to your Google Drive and make Excel sheets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the output is much more advanced in Google Gemini right now. So I'd be curious to see if GPT-5 is going to have to switch up its expectations.
Yeah. GPT-5 is going to be smarter.
Yeah.
Well, I am open-minded to investigate what new capabilities ChatGPT-5 brings, especially if they offer some sort of a free trial. I have a bias.
Yeah.
I like Gemini because early on when I am testing between ChatGPT and Google Gemini, I realized Google Gemini is much more specialized in sympathetic tone and not blaming the victim.
Yeah.
And they have stronger safety guardrails.
Yes.
They simply just won't generate data that is harmful and cross professional boundaries, such as healthcare, for example.
They talk about that.
Yeah, so my trust has already been established with Google Gemini. Now, I understand generative videos and images, they're these shining objects in generative AI, and they've revolutionized the way I make content, produce YouTube videos. But I value text generation a lot.
Yeah.
I value the tone a lot. And I really value how smart an AI tool is that I can have a cordial conversation that keeps me in check. So I still really value the text generative capabilities, and I don't think we're anywhere near perfect, intelligent chatbot yet.
No, definitely.
As we see that Google's developing this amazing AI model, Gemini, we see that Apple, NVIDIA, they're going to join Microsoft in funding OpenAI. So we're kind of seeing the camp is starting to form here. So we got this article from the Barron's. Apple and NVIDIA have discussed investing in a fresh fundraising round for OpenAI, the startup parent company of ChatGPT. A deal could put pressure on rival Alphabet, which owns Google. OpenAI has announced plans to move into search, launching a prototype of AI-powered search features that could put it in competition with Google's own platform.
But that's interesting that once again, it's driving direct competition, which is only going to improve our lives.
Yeah.
Because
cheaper tech,
incentives, more incentives, and they're going to want to make better and better models all the time.
Yeah, by stealing from our data.
Yeah, exactly.
This article continues to say that earlier in the year, investors were worried that Apple might be falling behind in the race to benefit from AI because the company hadn't disclosed details about its generative AI initiatives. This is something you're constantly telling me about.
Yeah.
That began to change with Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference in the mid-June, when the company unveiled Apple Intelligence and said a new AI-powered Siri will bring enhanced voice capabilities to Apple's devices. So Siri is always not as good as Alexa. Alexa had existed for a really long time, so the technology had always been there.
Yeah.
It may not even be that much of a breakthrough for Siri to be better. And maybe Apple has been working on improving Siri for a really long time, and now they just prioritize that division.
Yeah, exactly. And there's definitely an AI bubble going on right now.
Yeah.
Just like there was Bitcoin and all that bubble a few years ago, and all the different alternate coins that came out of that.
Dogecoin.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, AI is having this massive explosion of popularity, and so everyone's jumping in on it.
Yeah, the company also said that ChatGPT will be embedded into the next version of Apple's operating system. That's what I was saying. So it's not too far-fetched to think that GPT-5 could also come into iPhone.
Yep.
Especially if Apple has this partnership with OpenAI, anything is possible.
Yep. And if they invest in them, even more so.
Yeah, they're an investor, so they'd be like, give me this GPT-5.
Yeah, exactly.
The analysts put Apple in the top spot because of the planned AI updates for the iPhone. The company beat out the chip maker NVIDIA, the most immediate beneficiary of the rise of AI. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Apple is hosting Glow Time, a product launch event, on September 9th, and Wall Street is eager to hear what updates the company has to share. This event stands out against others in recent history because Apple is expected to provide more in-depth information regarding new AI-equipped iPhones.
Yeah, so this is that potential lineup of the 16 in which all models will have a chip that's capable of integrating Apple Intelligence.
We believe the company will put a lot of focus on how the hardware updates for the iPhone 16 family can better support its Apple Intelligence features that is expected to roll out officially later in the fall. And this person, Malik, rates Apple as a buy with a $255 price target. So for my own portfolio, I have a lot of Apple.
Yeah,
so I hope I get a big boost
yeah,
with this event.
Exactly.
Some of the AI updates coming to the iPhone include the curation of email summaries, photo generation, and an improved Siri that could rival Amazon.com's Alexa. I feel bad for Alexa.
I know.
Alexa's been there for us for a long time.
Yeah, but she'll still be there in the household.
Our household.
Yeah. But I really think that this is a huge advancement because there's so much competition. They wanted to create an event that's going to cause a massive increase in people buying the phones.
Yep.
So think of all those iPhone 14 users, all those iPhone 13 users.
Yeah, up until May this year, I was an iPhone 12 Pro Max user.
Exactly. But I mean, not even thinking about the Pro Max users. I'm thinking about just the ones that have the iPhone 14, which was like number 3 on the list or something.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to then go and buy their iPhone 16s.
Yeah.
And they're going to have now AI capability. You can't do that if you go and buy an iPhone 15, right? You need to have the iPhone 15 Pro Max.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's coming in right at the 2-year mark for a lot of these iPhone 14 users. And they may have just said, well, I'm going to wait till the 17th, like that other article. But no, it's like, I got to get this now. I got to get my iPhone 16 right now so that I can incorporate all my Apple Intelligence. And then they might buy a new watch, and they might buy, this is going to be a big boom.
In cell phone purchases.
It doesn't have to be the top of the line Pro Max models, because even the step below is going to be much more capable than their current phone.
Yeah, that is such a good point. And I hope the fact that there's such fierce competition in the field that it won't drive up the price, because we just got inflation down.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a huge boom in AI-powered smartphones. I hope we see a lot of deals that drive the price down.
Yeah, exactly. Because everybody's now doing it. So it's, I want to get the Pixel, or I want to get an iPhone. Do I want to get the Samsung?
Yeah, I paid essentially $97 for my Pixel Pro.
Yeah, that was a good deal.
Yeah, that gotta not contribute to the inflation.
No, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's all we want to talk about today.
Yeah, and it'll be exciting to see what happens on the 9th and what they have to say. And we'll be sure to make a video about that when they actually release what happens.
Yeah, and if you want to know more about the rumor feature on the iPhone 16 lineup, I'll link my video on iPhone 16 rumors below.
Yeah, sounds good.
And if you want to learn more about the Google Pixel 9 Pro, I'll also link that.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in our next one. Bye.
Bye.
I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance.